Oh, hey, you're probably wondering where I am and why all this wind is blowing on me. I don't really know. But anyways, The Fairly Odd Parents. The Fairly Odd Parents was created in 2001 by a man named Butch Hartman. The series was very successful. In fact, at one point in 2003, it even passed SpongeBob in viewership. Before the series premiered, there were 10 pilot episodes produced for Oh Yeah Cartoons. Oh Yeah Cartoons was basically just a show that creators would pitch pilots to, and whichever ones were the most popular, they would make into actual TV shows. As you can expect, The Fairly Oddparents was the most popular show on Oh Yeah Cartoons. The premise of Fairly Oddparents is pretty simple. Basically, this kid named Timmy Turner gets fairies because he has a crummy life. Their names are Cosmo and Wanda, and he grants wishes, but most of the time something ends up going wrong, and that's how the episode plays out, him resolving that. The show lasted 16 years, going all the way to 2017. It went down a huge downward spiral, though. It did stuff like add new characters, like at the start of Season 6 with Poof, which ended up actually being the most popular episode of Fairly Oddparents ever, and one of the most popular Nickelodeon broadcasts. So I guess it worked out in the end, but most people say Season 5 is when the golden era of the show ends. Today, though, I'm not going to talk about Season 1 of the Fairly Oddparents. I'm going to talk about Season 0, which is what the community calls the Oh Yeah Cartoons episodes of the Fairly Oddparents. So a couple things before I go in-depth into Season 0 of the Fairly Oddparents. These episodes aired in 1998, 3 years before the series was even picked up. Also, Timmy Turner was played by Mary Kay Birdman instead of Tara Strong, but she sadly passed away before the series was picked up in 2001. Also, in this era of the Fairly Oddparents, Timmy's more cocky, if that's the right word, and also just kind of like a weird animation thing I've noticed. His head is more vertical. It's more like his head is more skinny. Just something kind of weird I noticed if you look at him. Alright, so now let's talk about the pilot actual episode while the characters get introduced. This pilot does a good job of introducing the main characters while not shoving all the plot and everything and the setting and stuff just all in your face at once. Also, Cosmo in the Oh Yeah Cartoons series, he has more of a car salesman voice rather than his high-pitched voice, which I honestly kind of like the car salesman voice. Around Season 1 and 2, his voice was starting to get higher, but it wasn't so high that it was obnoxious. So I might like that more because it gives him more character. But I don't mind the car salesman voice. I think it kind of fits him. But since Cosmo's stupid, at the same time it doesn't fit him. So they also had to make him more dumb. And then by the 10th season, he's just actually brain dead. A majority of the episode is just Timmy wishing for bad things to happen to his evil babysitter, Vicky, Icky with a V. And that's basically just the pilot. I consider this the first real episode of the Fairly Oddparents. If you're watching them all in order, this is the first one to watch, rather than the first episode of the actual show that aired in 2001, because in that episode, Timmy already has his fairies, but in this pilot episode, he doesn't have his fairies. So this is the first episode you really should watch. I don't really have much to say about the other episodes in the Oh Yeah Cartoons era of the Fairly Oddparents, other than Where's the Wand, which is honestly my favorite of the Oh Yeah Cartoons era. It's basically Cosmo, Cosmo and Wanda, they lose one of their wands and Vicky gets a hold of it because she goes to some prom dance and she dresses up as a fairy princess, so she gets this wand by mistake and doesn't think it's real. So throughout the episode, Cosmo, Timmy, and Wanda try getting it back, and I think it's actually a really good episode. Yeah, a bunch of the other Oh Yeah Cartoons episodes are just to introduce other characters. The animation in this is interesting because it has that Fairly Oddparents Butch Hartman style, but he hasn't really got it down yet. Also, these were the only Fairly Oddparents episodes to be animated with cells. So that was the Fairly Oddparents short and sweet. Okay, bye.